A secret text with grave consequences, possibly. Another backstage attack. This is your life, kinda. And also every possible combination of matches happening. That must mean there's a pay-per-view this Sunday. This is a Monday Night Raw go-home show for Extreme Rules happening right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
This could be one of the last times you ever hear this song.
That would suck.
Because as we know, in a modern age, text messages can do a lot of damage. You know very well, sir.
Too well, in fact.
Don't know why I pointed you out right away.
Either.
Calling you out right from the get-go.
All right, I'll show everyone the pictures. It's fine.
You got nothing to lose.
Nothing to hide.
What's up, everybody? This is the Monday Night Raw after show right here at AFTERBUZZ TV. We got a full squad. This is the first time this squad has ever been assembled. Woo. And pretty pumped about it. We're going to have a great time. We're going to talk about everything that happened, good, bad, or otherwise, on this Monday Night Raw leading up to Extreme Rules. So let's get right into it. I'm Jonny Loquasto, at JQuasto. Of course, Ty Matthews, he had to move on. So this is our first show post-Ty. But obviously, follow him at Ty Matthews PMA. Make sure you stay on top of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. We just had a taping yesterday. Went amazing. So the Red Carpet Rumble's coming up very close. Sunday, June 25th. We'll talk about that at the end. Marquia McCarty, follow her at Marquia McCarty. She's not here tonight. She's busy doing holiday things, I guess. I'm not quite sure, but she couldn't make it. But don't worry, we got a team right here. I'm at JQuasto in the social medias. The lovely lady next to me, she's training to be a wrestler at Santino Brothers Academy. She's also the host of Ready to Ramble podcast. Follow her on Twitter at Sarah the Rebel, because she's indeed Sarah the Rebel.
I am indeed. Hello.
What's up, girl?
I'm happy to be here with this bumblebee.
This is fun. We had you twice on Compadres. Everyone loves you. And I said, hey, why don't you come to Raw?
And then I was like, yes, I'm ready to make my debut. And I realized then you meant something different.
Not that kind of debut. Yeah, I apologize.
Okay, yeah.
You can still put me in a hold if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, all right. At some point, I used to get hit on this show all the time.
Excellent. You're getting snapped.
Those are good times.
Yeah, I used to get slapped a lot. So as everyone in chat roll will be very excited to know that I might get hit tonight. That's fantastic.
I have to wait till you're not expecting it. That's the rule.
Please, I don't want to see it coming.
Excellent.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, well, it's going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I would prefer that. That'd be wonderful. And across from me, this gentleman right here, you see him every single Tuesday night hosting the SmackDown After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. Follow him on Twitter at, I believe, Real Rosenberg.
That's correct.
He's Christian Rosenberg, born in 2005.
Well, I was established in 2005. I'm just confused because I don't know where Tom and Scott are. What's happening?
They actually...
Why are we playing angles? Why is it red?
They're currently having a picnic.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't invite me. I guess they didn't invite you.
No.
But it's okay, you're here.
But no, I'm excited to visit on Raw. I haven't done a Raw show in forever, so I'm excited to be here.
Well, look, Marquia was gone. Ty left last week. We had to assemble a squad, and
everyone else called in sick.
Yeah, I think we did just that.
Yes.
And also, we can't forget Jimbo in the booth.
Yes.
Hi.
Always plenty of words from Jimbo in the booth. And last but not least, he is one of my bestest friends in the history of comedy. We started together almost 12 years ago, and he just moved back to Los Angeles. He's one of my favorite comedians to watch, one of my most hated comedians to hang out with, but nonetheless, he is here right now. He's the triple threat of comedy and wrestling encyclopedia. Follow him on Twitter and social media at Ryan Niemiller. He's Ryan Niemiller.
It's actually at Cripple Threat 8 now. Changed it up.
Why number 8? Whoa. Are you the 8th Cripple Threat?
I had to devour the souls of the previous 7
As you
to gain their power.
Okay.
So is it Cripple Threat 8 like ATE or the number 8?
It's the number 8.
Oh.
That was confusing. Thank you for clarifying.
I know, yeah. You'll never find me that way. Hey, guys.
Good to have you back.
Oh, happy to be here.
You were a hit just a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't here. So I said, why don't we throw this ragtag group together and see what happens?
I am excited and befuddled.
Okay, befuddled is generally your state of mind at all times.
I like to live. That's why I like to live, in a state of befuddlement.
So let's do it. I'm actually well rested. Last Monday I came right from LAX to here, and I was really out of it. The show went well. I don't remember it, but it went pretty well. But back from Pakistan, I hope you guys enjoyed all the vlogs and everything, and it was a great time. And I'd love to talk about that at length, but we have a 3-hour plus Raw to talk to. So, Miz TV, Sheamus and Cesaro in Greenville, South Carolina. Who knew Bailey's friends and family were there? Anyways.
Alexis spares no expense.
She flew them all out.
Everyone
She's known as a kind woman.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, a birthday shout out. Marie Annette, happy birthday. I know you asked us 9 times. Yay. Happy birthday to you. I hope you're 21st or whatever it might be. Just pretend you're 21. It's the best age, probably, I guess. Actually, 29 was pretty good. 27?
Like 26.
26 is really good, actually, because like you're not on your parents' insurance anymore, so you're a little bit terrified.
You can get those rental cars.
Yeah, you get those rental cars.
Got a co-signer.
You could just cruise across the country. You know, and happy 26, Marie. Happy 26.
She's actually 14.
Whatever. Good call. Happy 26th. Keep shooting for the stars. So Miz invites Sheamus and Cesaro on the show, and basically, more or less, saying that they should easily have defeated the Hardys. They should be the tag team champs.
Doing what Miz always does, where he just tells the truth. That's all he does in his promos.
Yeah, kind of mentioned how Sheamus and Cesaro should be mad at the Hardys for stealing the WrestleMania spotlight. They were all primed for their moment, and then the Hardys just come rolling back, and everyone loves them.
It's a pretty damn good point.
It is.
Because that's really what happened. It was a
more or
triple
less.
threat, and then of course the New Day comes out, and everyone's like, oh, okay, New Day's going to jump in this match. That makes sense. We haven't seen him much all night. Oh, no. And then the place erupts. It shatters YouTube records. It was the #1 trending video on YouTube for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, that was probably the loudest pop I've ever been in person with when the Hardys came out at Mania. It was just unreal.
Yeah, I was in a living room and popped. I like stood up and jumped in the air.
I mean, we were in an outdoor arena, and the noise was absolutely incredible. And I looked, and I was sitting in like a media section, like not the indoor parts, but like everyone around me was like some kind of media because they're all taking notes and whatever and not really having fun. And like I'm sitting there,
not about fun.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there enjoying the whole thing. And when the Hardys, I looked around, everybody was losing their mind. And the week after that, all anyone talked about, even wrestling fans who hadn't watched in years, they were, oh, the Hardys? What? They came? It's incredible.
Yeah.
After being gone essentially a decade, you know, what they've held up as far as the WWE audience goes.
Definitely. And it doesn't hurt at all that they're wearing the similar gear and that they're doing their old moves, so it's just like a blast from the past.
Matt Hardy's doing all 18 of his poses.
We're getting glimpses of Broken, but obviously we can't.
It's not broken, it's just maybe like a dent.
It's dented.
Dented Matt Hardy.
Dented Matt Hardy.
We get a little bit of the,
I want that
like,
shirt.
That makes me happy. Dented Matt Hardy. I'm sure someone has made that already.
Yeah.
I mean, if you check it. Oh, well, Marie is 27, by the way. Pretty good guess, Christian.
Well done.
Happy
Well done.
27.
I thought she was 14. But yeah, with Miz, in the Superstar shakeup, that was the one guy I was really bummed left SmackDown.
I was too.
Yeah.
Because I'm loving what the Miz has done over this last year. And, I mean, the way he's been presenting himself and the way that really he's just made, not necessarily the WWE or the Universal title his main goal, but the Intercontinental title his goal. I really think when his career is all said and done, he's going to be the first 10-time IC champ and break Jericho's record.
And the funny thing about it is, I don't know when the Slammies actually are, but if you really wanted to do the whole Superstar of the Year award, The Miz should be included in that group.
Yes.
I'm sure he won't be because he's not Roman Reigns, but he really should be included in the Superstar of the Year group because he has had that kind of transcendent year, not only for his career, but he's just done so many different things, a bunch of different opponents, and he's been captivating to watch every single week. And then Maurice, it's like she's perfect. She knows exactly when to step in. She knows exactly when to get obnoxious, and she's fantastic at ringside.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, give some credit to Maurice too, because Miz was just, he's always been solid, but there was about a 2 or 3 year period there where whatever, he could have been gone and they would have been the same to
I
me.
think she adds so
and then
much
once
to
Maurice came, they're like, yeah, you want to see that douchey Hollywood couple just be douchey, and you're ugh.
Like you said, Sarah, she adds so much because if you look at Maurice, she's clearly better than all of us. It's just one of those, like, and she's a very nice person in general, but as far as the character, you look at her, you're like, oh, I hate her because she's so perfect.
Yeah, I hate her all the time. Every time I look at her with her bejeweled collar. Who does she think she is?
She looks way better than me in a bikini.
I don't know.
That is
I don't
not
know.
true.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
I just wanted to hear it, guys. Thank you.
And in a bejeweled collar,
That is very
I dare say no one has defeated you yet.
Well, thank you.
So Dean Ambrose shows up, and the Hardys are coming with him, y'all, which leads to a 3-on-3 match. Miz and Sheamus and Cesaro taking on Dean Ambrose and the Hardys. What do you guys think of this? A little bit of an interesting tag at the end, but of course, Jeff with a picture-perfect swanton, as always, for the W.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how much more they could do with this kind of match, and I think adding Dean and The Miz was the attempt to kind of make it a little different. But I think because I've seen them have matches against each other so much as well, this just kind of felt like a repeat of the same for me.
Yeah, it's just that next filler to the next. It's that kind of, and the matches have been fine, but it's that, oh, where you have a tag match coming up at the pay-per-view? Well, we'll do single match with these two, single match with these two.
Teddy Long would have loved tonight.
Loved
it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have Miz and Ambrose 1-on-1. We can't have the Hardys team up against Cesaro and Sheamus. They've already faced each other 1-on-1. Hey, let's put all the mid-card matches on the pay-per-view together in one fell swoop.
I mean, it's kind of what went down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, very difficult to have a go-home show before a pay-per-view. It's
Yeah.
Especially when the card is already, it looks like we had 6 matches lined up so far. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 more added, maybe one of the pre-show. But nonetheless, Hardys and Dean pick up the win. Now, I love this next small segment we had because we really haven't seen anything like it. I'm sure it's happened before, but obviously not since the brand split. You know, we cut back to the cool shot of the announcers of Cole, Booker, and Corey. And, you know, Michael Cole is obviously, you know, setting up a story, kicking it over to Corey, which he does so well. And Graves is completely just almost like in a trance on his phone. And he's just like, he didn't even answer Michael. He's like, I gotta go. And he just leaves, which was something we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
You can't play that WWE app game while you're on the air.
Yeah, it's I heard it's very addicting. I can't do it.
Can't put it down. No, this was, like you said, it was just so cool. I love it whenever they do something different and something that I don't expect. So getting like a commentary person to get up and walk off, and then later on what they did with the rest of it was just really interesting to me.
Yeah, and then even the reactions of Michael Cole and Booker too, like that sold it as well. Of like, well, you don't get up in the middle of the show, and like it gave it a sense of,
unless you're Mike Adamle.
well, that's
Good point. Good point.
And then we just want you to get up and get out of the show.
But we wish Mike well with everything he's got going on. So
yeah, but it just really sold that as something not normal.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the standard fare.
It brought a twist.
Absolutely.
Which is something, you know, that, I mean, I know you guys have been talking about on the show, like, you know, some little story out of the ordinary that be needed, and this was a fun thing involving Corey Graves, who you wouldn't expect to be involved in something like this. I am intrigued.
here's the thing: Corey Graves has the talent to do it, though.
Yes,
I mean,
he
was a
does.
wrestler for a number of years. He was very charismatic. Obviously, we know how great he is on the mic. I mean, when he was given that contract, during the Breaking Ground time, maybe it was a year and a half ago, he didn't know what his future held. He's like, I just got to work my ass off and be amazing, and he certainly has done that. So if we could find a way, if anyone can pull off doing commentary and being in some kind of storyline, it's totally cool.
Absolutely.
It's not Booker.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
I think Booker has done a good job since he's been back. I mean, it wasn't anything he expected.
See, he's entertaining to be.
Booker or Tunga, you tell me.
Neither.
Okay.
I shouldn't have to have two bad things. Give me a new good thing. And I also really just miss the kind of vibe that Byron and Corey had, because they
Agreed.
were kind of perfect for each other. And Corey getting to play that heel a little more on commentary, I don't feel like he can do it with Booker.
See, because Corey's abuse of Byron felt like almost like you could tell they're at least kind of buddies.
Oh, no,
but it's
they're
like,
really good friends.
But like, it's like that, like, shut up, you idiot. Like, kind of like you would talk to your brother.
Right.
When JBL does that kind of stuff, you're like, he's probably going to murder Byron after this. Like, he's going to do something terrible to him, his vehicle, his possessions. Like, it comes off as like, I'm scared for Byron.
Well, when Corey was on Compadres at WrestleMania weekend, he even said, he's like, we're really good friends. We've driven together. And he's like, that's why I say things to Byron, because he's a beautiful human being, but boy, is he weird. Yeah. That's exactly what he said. And so it does make sense. But at the same time, I think Byron's doing a fantastic job with the SmackDown team. But you're right. I mean, I don't know if Otunga is going to come back. Maybe they're listening to the universe and they don't want him to come. I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess it's still up in the air, at least for the summer, I heard.
Bottom line is, I've always loved Booker for a long time, and obviously he was on Compadres for a full year, so I always appreciate what he did for that show. And also, he's a legend. His career has been insanely
Listen,
incredible.
I love Booker, but listening to him do commentary is like when your uncle wanders over at the cookout and just talks your ear off for a little while. Like, he's just like having your uncle there with you watching the show.
All right.
It's not for everyone.
That's a fair opinion. But coming back from commercial break, Corey Graves is backstage with Kurt Angle, and Kurt's just also mesmerized by it. It must have been a hell of a text message. He is just staring it down.
It was also very long. It took him a while to read it.
It seemed like
it was a lot of words. Very wordy.
Words in
It
that
was not a
text message.
tweet.
It was not.
Probably not. More than 140 characters.
Yeah.
And he said, flat out, he said, wow, if this is true, this could completely destroy me, which is interesting. What does he not know that's true?
Yeah, because that's very interesting the way he worded it, because it implies it's not something that he's deliberately trying to hide. that he did something terrible in the past, and so it's something even he's being blindsided by. And I like it, and I also like that they didn't explain it anymore for the rest of the show. There was no other, because a lot of times it feels like WWE has they have a history sometimes of like, oh, we have you hooked, and then an hour later you know the answer, and then okay, that was an interesting week, but that could have been so much more. I love that this seems like it can be an ongoing mystery,
and I'm very glad we didn't find out the answer by the end of the show.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Which is a great thing. So, moving on, Elias Sampson's back, y'all.
Hey now.
Taking on Zack Evans and taking care of him quite easy. I dig it so far. Elias put on a great match last week.
I'm a big fan of Elias Sampson. I enjoyed him in NXT. I enjoyed the Drifter character. I'm pleasantly surprised that, because in NXT, he was pretty much getting beat up all the time, and in Raw, he's just been kicking ass. So, like, he has a victory over Dean Ambrose already.
Yeah.
And he just destroyed this guy.
I was pretty surprised. I expected him to come in a lot like the other folks from NXT, where they don't really get to do much. But clearly somebody back there believes in him, because, he got a squash match.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that match was brought to you by the letter N and the letter C.
Yes. Based on the old Zack Evans was just shapes. His selling was fantastic.
The
Shapes
shaper.
around the ring.
He just kept becoming different shapes. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
After he sold the finish, he was an N.
He's trying to be that
and
next
then-
Ellsworth.
Yeah, he bent backwards into it was...
The thing about Sampson, since he's been, I guess you could say, on the main roster, it's kind of been done in the best way possible, where he just shows up, strums his guitar for a few seconds, and disappears. The crowd, we all got into it. We're like, okay, yeah, that's a way to use him.
Yeah, and like, there wasn't much dialogue with us. It was just like, all right, so is he on the roster? Is he just hanging out? He's not angering anybody per se, but what's he doing here? It made us intrigued, made us want to find out more about him.
He's
made us want to
drifting,
see him in
man.
the ring.
He's just drifting, yo.
He's drifting.
That's all he's doing.
He's living off the grid. He ain't paying taxes. Or maybe he is.
He has a tiny house.
Yeah.
Really tiny house.
It's all solar panels. And
Hailing from the production truck.
Gets all his food from the earth.
I like it.
Barefoot everywhere.
Except when he wrestles.
Yeah.
He respects the ring.
Yeah, he respects the ring too much.
Gotta wipe those boots off. Samoa Joe talking about Finn Balor, interrupted by Bray Wyatt, who does Bray Wyatt things. Just says a lot of very well thought out, introspective, intimidating. Not so much.
Well, I think Bray Wyatt, and I'll get a lot of flack for this, I probably will, but Bray Wyatt is clearly talented and charismatic, but the issue I always have with him, his promos are great, but that promo could literally be about anybody. Like, every one of his promos, they don't seem like pinpointed enough.
Sure.
Like, on the specific guy. It's like, they're great and they're cryptic.
The Roman Reigns ones back in the day were.
and that was the
Or the Cena
example we
ones
mentioned
were.
earlier.
Yeah.
Because they were very specific to Roman, and I was like, those are great. And some of these, he mentions the Beast. He kind of alludes to Lesnar.
Which
and
I'm
all
still
that,
not sure
but-
if the Beast is us or him or good or bad. It's very confusing.
Yeah, he's very talented and it's very captivating to watch, but what's he saying is kind of the problem I have sometimes.
I think that's the good thing then. We're not sure what he's saying. We're not sure what it's directed to, so that makes us more involved in it. It makes us like trying to figure out the puzzle. Because I think when Bray is doing a promo in the ring, it's really like the only situation where the crowd is just silent because they're listening.
Yep.
Now, when he's doing them on the Tron, kind of a different story, but you gravitated towards him and you want to hear every word because you're trying to figure out, all right, does this just have to do with the 5 or is this a bigger picture to the Beast?
Right.
Is it something to Kurt Angle? Who is it? Is it just a Finn Balor? So I enjoy it for that reason.
It just bothers me a little that you never find out the answer to that question, though. Like, there's never a promo later where it's like, oh, it was.
P.S. I was
Lesnar
talking
all
about
Like,
Lesnar.
it's never. It's because they're, like I said, they're great promos.
It's that Scooby-Doo
but-
moment you're looking for, like he pulls off the mask.
Exactly.
Oh!
And maybe it's just me. I know that's
Here's the
everyone
thing.
loves Wyatt, and I.
No, I do
get
too.
it.
I think Bray's one of the most talented people in the business, period. I wait for the day where he is running everything. And I think it might eventually take him taking time off, whether there's some crazy, way back in the day buried alive thing or something to where he comes back in a just brand new but similar terrifying fashion. Because there's no reason why he shouldn't be on the top of either show right now.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably the superstar I see being misused the most, because what I would want for him is to constantly win. I want him to be scary. I want his magic to be something you're afraid of. I want his little spoken word poetry sessions to be slightly cool, slightly intimidating, but it feels like it's just talk with him. He's very charismatic. He's really good in the ring, and then somehow he always loses.
Yeah. And you were saying earlier when we were talking during the show, like, no one's really scared of him either.
Yeah,
like
why
that's
would
sort
you
of the problem. Like everyone tough guys him.
Well, Randy Orton did not help.
Sure.
Randy Orton, let's be honest, he did not do him any favors.
He survived a refrigerator.
The House of Horrors match, he showed no emotion, he showed no fear. The WrestleMania match, okay, a little bit of fear when the Bugs first showed up in the ring, but other than that, it didn't affect him. He still won the match.
Yeah.
But like Xavier is
Xavier was amazing.
He sold it so hard.
But Xavier's also a very talented actor, and we all know this. But you're right, that's exactly how it should be.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that didn't really get a chance to come to fruition. Right. So, but speaking of, unfortunately, Bray not coming up victorious, tonight, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt. Oh boy, Finn Balor hits the coup de grace, Samoa Joe tosses him out, and Joe gets the pin on Bray.
Yep.
As you were saying, Sarah.
Just keeps losing. But this was still an interesting match. It was a fun match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a very good match as a match, but like, Bray eats a fall clean.
Well, you know, one of these guys are going to take the pin, and it would be weird for any one of them at this point.
Yeah.
So Bray drew the short straw.
As he always does.
And the sad part is, I really thought he was going to have a nice title run on SmackDown, and that abruptly ended after 49 days. Then again, so did Orton's, but...
Yeah. But we got the Maharaja now.
Yeah, you don't hinder gender,
no,
Johnny.
I love that, but that's for a different show.
No, look, we can talk. Look, I think he's set up for an incredibly long title run. I know the response in India has been insane, and I know at the Business Summit this year they did talk about how they're always global, but they really, really wanted to go as international as possible. So when Jinder all of a sudden went from relative obscurity to all of a sudden being a number one contender, I was like, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. And yep, he's going to be champ.
Yep.
And yep, it's going to last a while. And I think he's doing everything he possibly can so far. But
it makes Dreamer so happy.
Yeah,
I just want to see cooler moves, that's all.
That could happen.
Just, top wrist lock. Okay, we're not going to talk about it more, I'm just saying.
Moving on to Seth Rollins. It's going to be him and Roman tonight, but it's not going to be anything personal. He's going to have to take out Roman Reigns. He's also going to win and become number one contender this Sunday. Did I miss anything there?
No.
That sounds about right.
Sounds...
There was very little Seth Rollins laugh, which I appreciated.
I just like Seth being a snarky.
I just hate the fake laugh. Everything else about him is great, except for that ridiculous laugh.
I do have to point out that he said his knee. They're basically saying now that his knee is even stronger than it was before.
Yeah, it's made of adamantium, vibranium. I think is in there now.
We've replaced his bones with the hottest steel on earth.
Moving on, Noam Dar taking on Rich Swann, Alicia Fox at Dar's side, and I guess Sasha Banks now, just kind of via proxy, teaming up with Rich Swann. That's going to be a tag team match at Extreme Rules. Distracted once again. Alicia Fox has a way of, well, she's very distracting.
She is.
I'd be distracted.
There you go.
I think so. She distracts Dar. Swann hits the Phoenix Splash. The first of 3 attempted Phoenix Splashes that we saw.
Why?
On one show. Hey, it's a great thing to do.
I think it's a secret message. Yeah. We just have to decode it.
WrestleMania's coming to Phoenix.
Something's in Phoenix.
Summer, make a splash at SummerSlam in Phoenix. Figured it out.
Did it.
Yep.
Done.
Or there's going to be someone named Phoenix showing up.
You heard it here first. Yeah, Beth Phoenix returns.
That's what it is. And she'll be doing the Phoenix Splash.
The Splash Brothers
she
gets
comes back to
Raw.
take it back.
Could you imagine? So anything here, just leading up to the tag team match really at Extreme Rules?
Awkward dance segment.
Oh yeah, that was bad. I mean, Sasha, you can Macarena. I know you can. Like when you don't know what to do, fall back on a Cabbage Patch or something.
Well, here's the question:
simple.
do you guys know how to Macarena?
Yeah, heck yeah.
I know. I think most of it.
Oh, that was.
Will you slow down and let me do it?
This is the beat.
She actually just did it flawlessly. That was a flawless.
That's what I'm saying. You fall back on what you know you can do. If she can only hit a 2-step, you hit that 2-step.
I'll tell you what. That song came out around the time of me and all my friends having our bar mitzvahs.
Nice.
And that was the jam.
Oh, those were
every
the
bar
days.
mitzvah went Macarena, Electric Slide, Tootsie Roll,
Haba Nagila.
Oh,
Haba
Tootsie
Nagila.
rolled.
And then you break the glass. Or is that at a wedding?
That's a wedding.
Got it. Whatever. What do you do at a bar mitzvah? Just get money?
Yeah.
Because you get gifts.
You
Right?
I became a man. I became a man.
Yeah.
What was that, Jimbo?
Do they put you on the chair?
They put me on the chair and all sung and danced around it.
And that's when you get, because I know, like for like Catholics, like you get confirmed, you have a party, and everyone just gives you, like families give you money for no
I
reason.
didn't get a party with money.
I went to dinner with like 10 people. I got nothing. But a lot of friends of mine would get money.
I
So
just
that's
got
what
my
happened for
snake
mitzvah. You
name.
get gifts.
Yeah.
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 Party on.
It kind of helped me start college.
See? Damn, that's a heck of a bar mitzvah.
Am I too old to be bar mitzvah?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
You
asking
can convert,
here. Okay, well,
and then we'll take it from there.
will they put me on a chair?
Perhaps.
You are too old for a quinceanera. You already asked. We can't do it for you.
I already bought the dress.
Then we have to go through with it. You know the laws.
Oh, boy. This Sunday, the pre-show, Ryan Niemiller's quinceanera. That'd be amazing.
On Miz TV.
And then Kane ruins it.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
You get kidnapped by somebody.
Exactly.
That'd be incredible. The Revival, they're kind of back. And, you know, it's interesting because I loved this last week where there was a backstage promo and you just see them snooping Scooby-Doo style in the back. They said, just because we were here doesn't mean we did anything.
Right, and first they denied being there, period. And so it was actually kind of cool to see a backstage reporter actually kind of stand her ground and speak up, because we haven't seen that for a long time.
Yeah, it was very much but actually,
Right.
there's video that shows you were here. Oh,
Well,
well,
yeah, we
were here.
had to
We
use
work
the
here.
bathroom.
You know?
I mean, it was hard to find.
I mean, our contracts say we have to be here. Doesn't mean we were here.
I mean, top guys have to use the restrooms too.
I mean, JTG was there for a long time, but
Sure.
They forgot he worked there, though. That was different. No.
Which is awesome.
It was interesting to watch. I don't know their names because I didn't watch NXT. Don't be mad at me. But the one whose mouth is wired shut.
Dash Wilder.
Watching him still participate in the promo was very interesting to me. I appreciate a good silent promo.
It's got to be a rough number of weeks for him. I mean, that is
He's still rocking it. He showed it, and it's pretty extensive
Yeah.
wiring. It's not.
He couldn't open his mouth, Kanye West style,
through the wire.
to the limit.
That was a fantastic song by Kanye.
Does this make you worry about him in future matches? And the possibility of just like what you would say, like punch drunk for people who have a lot of concussions, that it just takes like that one tap and you're knocked out again. Like all it takes is like one slight little tap on the jaw and then
No, not at all.
Again.
If he takes enough time off, which believe me, they're not going to rush him back with a broken jaw, especially if he had to have a procedure done. If he comes, it's like almost any other injury. Yeah, the possibility always exists, but if he takes enough time to let everything heal, no, he should be perfectly fine.
and if they put like any type of like the steel or anything in that, it makes it really even more durable.
Pretty much. I mean,
Like if he gets Lex Luger's.
Yes.
I say they
Surgery,
can
but
do
in
the
his
Luger
jaw.
angle where they show he had a steel plate in his jaw. He's doing
People break their
side.
hands when throwing punches at him.
I mean, I'm sure, knowing Dash and Wilder, they're going to come up with something creative and something entertaining like they did tonight. But no, I
He'll
mean,
wear
if
a
he,
football helmet for a while or
What I was
something
gonna
like
say,
that.
is
you
there
know,
like
just-
a mask like Cody Rhodes wore when his face was messed up that he could wear over his jaw?
No, that's usually more for a fractured cheekbone or fractured orbital bone. This is something you honestly, I'm a little surprised we're seeing him on television already. You just really got to wait it out.
He'll probably be wearing a mouth guard now.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really just got to wait it out. And obviously, there's ways to work around, hopefully, taking a lot of headshots.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But nonetheless, great to see the Revival back. We're going to see what happens with the whole Enzo and Cass thing, because something else happened tonight. So Cass confronts Corey Graves, and, Corey and him had a bit of a back and forth. Corey implying that maybe Cass should be investigated, and Cass ain't too happy about that.
Yeah. It was interesting. Again, they brought them to the commentary table. So Cass was like looming over him. And Corey was acting afraid. And Booker was like turned away, like this is none of my business. It was really
like,
funny.
I'm not here.
Like,
Don't
I'm not
worry
even
about
going
I'm just going to play the game on the app.
It was pretty great. And of course, Corey backed down. But I do wonder if it's because, it could go either way, right? It could be because Cass really did do it and they're going to do it, or it could be because they saw all the people in the WWE universe tweeting and sharing and saying that they hoped it was Cass, and now
Sure.
they're messing with us, which I also like.
I think that's... Yeah.
All I know is that Corey had a rough night at work.
Yeah,
he had to
Poor
deal with
guy.
a lot today. He got threatened by Cass.
was
He's getting
busy.
weird text
Well,
messages.
I'm loving this new kind of page in the character of Cass. He's always been protective of Enzo, but now it's like this real anger, and he's getting very defensive on people, especially with these, accusations. So even if it does not end up being him, you could do the thing was, like, I told you, would you guys all accuse me? And he still snaps.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the thing where someone convinces Enzo that Cass did it. And then it turns out it was somebody else.
And
it
Enzo's
breaks
a
up
hothead,
that.
and that would be perfect for his character. And it's going to be very fun to see how this actually plays out. And I don't know how. I hope it plays out over quite some time. I don't want to find out in like 2 weeks.
I just hope we don't tune in next week and Enzo is again laying on some broken pipes.
Yeah, and Enzo can't be unconscious every week.
Enzo will have 48 concussions backstage.
All
before
caused by
he's back.
himself.
And 25 were all from Rusev in one night.
Yep.
In that hotel room. So
it is fun watching.
Shouldn't have hit on a married woman.
Well, that's the one thing. That night,
Can't argue with that.
that's the weirdest thing. Is that night with the hotel thing? It's like,
Well, you kind of had it coming, buddy.
yeah.
Oh no, I did not feel any remorse towards Enzo that night.
And I don't think that was the way we were supposed to feel. But that's
He bounced back with the KFC chicken that he's now dating.
I've actually had that once. Very delicious.
Hey, don't be messing with that
Yeah,
man's
yeah,
girl.
don't let Enzo know.
I generally don't watch KFC. I don't really eat KFC, but I had it once. Pretty good. Whatever it's called, golden
I
goose
just like the mashed
chicken or whatever.
potatoes.
The golden goose chicken.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
My Georgia
The
Gold.
golden shower chicken.
I'm pretty sure her name is Georgia, actually.
Georgia.
Titus taking on Kalisto, and he gets a handful of tights, and the Titus brand going to the pay winner, y'all.
Titus with the tights.
Yeah, very short match.
Yeah, it was about as long as that sentence was.
Yeah.
Maybe a little shorter. I really liked that. At first I thought it was a botch because he kind of just leaned down and
Yeah, he
gently
sort of went like...
and just pushed his shoulders against it, like, haha. I don't know what's happening here because I see Apollo constantly looking upset and discouraged and not okay with everything that Titus is doing. So I don't know if he's going to actually be converted eventually or if it's leading to a
I hope
Titus
so.
and Apollo feud.
I think the Titus brand, I love Titus as a manager a lot more than I do in the ring.
Sure.
Yes.
I think he's got something very unique that nobody else in the company has, and I would love to see him old school style put together his own stable and just like old Jimmy Hart style, go to the back, put a different jacket on. Go bring someone else out to the ring.
And then he can wrestle occasionally when they need it for...
But I really
he's...
think Titus leading a bunch of people to success would be...
Yeah, because he's had this Titus brand for, well, they've been talking about at least 2 years, that there's been some sort of mention of him.
Sure.
Year and a half, 2 years, and he's never had any imbat. Like, you gotta have somebody,
Here's my... When does Darren come back from injury? Do we have any idea?
No idea.
Because, I mean, that could be an interesting addition to this story as well.
But Bob Backlund might still be around. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Bob Backlund will be with the Titus brand.
He could be.
I want to see him all
Everybody.
decked out.
There were moments of that was the reason I was so excited every week, was to see what Bob Backlund was going to say with Darren Young.
Well, one of my favorite things in the last year that I was doing on SmackDown was me and Scott reenacting the Darren Young and Bob Backlund promos.
Sure.
It was
Probably exhausting.
Yes. Well, Scott was Backlund.
Did you guys
I
get
didn't have the cardio for it.
You said to be like, yes, coach.
Yep. That was pretty much just super happy and just do what he said.
That's all you gotta say.
Yep.
All right, guys, brace yourselves, because this is your life.
Oh.
Alexa Bliss and Bayley.
I wish it wasn't my life.
So the This Is Your Life with Mankind and The Rock was a classic. I think we've had a few This Is Your Life since. Mm-hmm. Right? Have we?
Forgettable, yeah.
I've been a few.
I can't think of any off.
Oh, they've done,
Rock
they've
and
done
John Cena.
Yeah, they did one with Rock.
Cena did one, yeah.
There was
And they've done a lot of similar type of...
the Old Day was kind of close with...
Even like the Festival of Friendship or whatever. I mean, it's kind of in that vein. Like, it's the same kind of... But, yeah. You're not going to recapture... I mean, I think they want to because it's the highest rated segment ever on Raw. And they still think they're going to get that with something. I don't know.
This, from start to finish, seemed like a bunch of bad ideas put together. It wasn't even just one bad idea with a lot of good parts or anything. Just, it's going over the same ground you already cover with Charlotte and Bayley. It's having Alexa talk too long. It's having...
and Alexa did the best she could.
She did. She really did. She always does.
Committed.
This is a long segment, and she
Really
had
long.
to get a lot of stuff out. and the Bailey's boyfriend,
They were like
teacher.
dissing the WWE during it too, which was weird.
Making fun of Bailey for being a fan. It's like,
she wouldn't go hang out. She wouldn't go rollerblade because she wanted
what
to
a
watch
loser.
Raw and
First off, who in
SmackDown.
the hell wants to rollerblade anyway?
And like,
Oh,
who
wait.
uses that as a specific
Don't
example from their
disrespect
youth?
rollerblade.
I'm not disrespecting rollerblade, but who in the hell wants to go rollerblade?
People who want strong legs. That's who.
Yeah, I feel this segment would have been much more effective if we never had really the Charlotte Bailey feud. If it just kind of, Charlotte was around, she lost the title not to Bailey, someone else eventually got to Alexa, and then we have this thing with Alexa and Bailey talking about the fan and all this stuff, because then it's still somewhat fresh, and I feel the Alexa bratty character would sell a little more than Charlotte per se.
Right.
So then again, we'd be more involved in it. But being that, okay, is this just what everyone's defense is against Bailey? It's the same thing how Cena always talks about. Oh yeah, you guys are going to talk about that I get what I want and that I always emerge on top, but you're going to be the guy to. It's like, okay, we get it. It's the same story each time,
Right.
and that's what's happening to Bailey. And
And I think
it's
that's part of the
getting
problem
typecast.
is in NXT, that was okay because it's Full Sail, it's a couple hundred people, and she was the underdog the whole time, and everyone just rallied behind her. It took her so long to get to the title, and she finally did. It was this amazing moment. And then she gets to the main roster, and the audience didn't take to her quite as much. She won the title in surprising fashion before WrestleMania, which
Right.
Weird.
And you what is great about her as a babyface is her being an underdog. You wanting her to win. So when you let her win immediately, you kind of take a lot of steam out from her.
Yeah, and I think they sometimes forget too that as much as I love it, casual WWE fans don't watch NXT as much. Like it's similar thing kind of happened with Emma. Emma was adorable in NXT because it was such a long build and they grew to love her.
And it didn't work.
And then when she came up to the roster, all anyone knew was like, oh, she's a goofy chick that dances. Like that was all it
Bo
was.
Dallas.
There was
I love Bo Dallas so much, and it didn't translate over.
And
well, I mean, Bo Dallas worked a lot better on the main roster than Emma did originally. Now, to Emma's credit, she completely reinvented herself.
Yes.
And boy, is she fantastic.
But I think it's the assumption that they can just pull, like, oh, this was successful in NXT, and they assume everyone knows her already.
Right.
And they don't. And I think they did that a little with Bailey. Like, they know that you're supposed to like her and that she's good and pure, but there hasn't been that build of
and
the
this goes
underdog.
back to Samson, how we all agree that we enjoy what they've been doing, because all of a sudden, here's this guy that the casual fan does not know.
But they see him drifting for 9 weeks.
Exactly.
It makes sense. And now, to me, I am always surprised if there's someone who watches SmackDown and Raw every week. I'm shocked if I hear someone say, "Oh no, I don't have the network," or "I don't watch NXT." I'm like, really?
A lot of my friends from like my hometown and stuff, they don't.
I don't
They
watch.
have no idea. They don't. I mean, they don't know who Finn Balor is. They know now, like they're getting to know him.
Sure.
But they didn't watch any NXT
I
or New
don't watch
Japan
NXT because do you know how much wrestling there is? If you're not just watching WWE, right? Like
There's
it's
a lot.
your whole week. So I think a lot of us choose which of the shows we're watching.
And I love the development aspect of it. So NXT, you get to see people have their shot on camera, and you get to see them grow and develop. Sometimes they'll skyrocket, other times they'll falter, and that's any business really in entertainment. You just got to give it a shot.
There's just some of them that don't have like Enzo and Cass did great right away because Enzo is so stupidly charismatic that you know exactly what he was about on that first night, so it was fine. Some of these other ones, they just don't have that. You have to do that build to get people to know them again, and they sometimes just pass that point a little bit.
And then someone like Alexa Bliss, the moment she showed up on SmackDown, she was just killing it right from the start. She was one of those people that, 15,000 people around me, I'm cool, let's go. Whereas Bailey, clearly not as comfortable in front of an arena.
Yeah, this was Alexa's biggest misstep I've ever seen, definitely, though.
But it wasn't her.
It's not her fault.
Yeah.
I mean, she did what she could. I mean, they're like, okay, we're going to give you the length of 3 Kalisto matches.
That's what hurt my soul. We could have had women wrestling during this instead of watching Mrs. Flapper talk about Bailey's
there was
dad.
no women's match at all tonight, was there?
I don't think so.
Well, there's the mixed.
They were in
No.
the
corner.
match.
Yeah.
I was
my
thinking,
gosh,
they
you're
could have
right.
accomplished
Wow.
what they did tonight if they would have let Bailey wrestle a match and Alexa run her down on
Right.
commentary.
On commentary,
They
yep.
could have easily done that. We had some wrestling, but instead we got bad comedy.
And then, you know, Alexa could take out the kendo stick from underneath the announcer's table.
Absolutely.
You're right. Wow, not a single women's match tonight. Ooh, boy.
So that was just kind of like an extra, it felt almost like a bit of a slap in the face. So I wasn't a fan of this segment.
Fair enough.
You did mention this when we were watching it, though. One thing I do like that they're doing with it, though, they do make the kendo stick seem like it is a murder weapon, basically.
Sure.
Like it is so, like whoever gets it is
one
going
shot
to,
is
it's
going
to take it out. Like they've done a really good job, I think, with that. Instead of it just being a small prop that, you know, 30 kendo stick shots. Okay, well that, and then kick out. All right, that's fine.
Well,
like
no
they've made it
Roman
seem
Reigns'
like it's
best.
Sure, that's very true.
And to be honest, that's the most extreme match we have so far. I mean, the tag team match is a steel cage. Neville Aries a submission match. There's a mixed tag, straight up mixed tag.
Well, the 5-way is, you know, just whatever goes. So I'm sure there'll be a lot.
It doesn't sound very
But
extreme.
there's no quote unquote extreme rules match.
Sure.
No, I mean the Intercontinental title match is actually
The exact opposite.
yeah. If you get
Straight.
disqualified, you lose the title. So I feel like maybe this should be called Great Balls of Fire instead.
Let's just switch them real quick. We'll call Vince. He'll understand.
Possibly. So Enzo gets attacked again backstage. Kurt says he saw the Revival leaving. Cass doesn't believe him. He's angry. Dun dun dun. To be continued.
We need to get the fashion police on this.
That's
Well,
right.
this is probably going to lead, honestly, this is probably like next week we'll have probably Cass versus Dawson, and all of a sudden they'll cut to the back and Enzo's laid out.
Laid out again.
And there's a wait, it's not Cass, it's not the Revival. Who could it be?
So this would be like Emelina,
Yes.
but it's Enzo getting beat up and knocked unconscious.
And then he'll come out and be like, yeah, I'm fine.
Or like currently Lana, who's dancing every week.
yes,
We'll see
but
what
I mean,
she
I like that. Just keep dancing forever, Lana.
you dance like no one's
Beautiful.
watching, Lana.
That's
You
right.
Just keep dancing.
That's the way to dance. Like no one's watching. Next up, we have Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher taking on Neville and TJP in a tag team match.
Sorry, dude, I'm slacking.
We always have one moment every single week, and that was the one.
Womp womp.
It's good. I mean, I don't know if Jimbo has the like Christian's Closet music.
Can I try it again, Jimbo, or are we not even there? No? Okay, we'll get to it eventually. So Aries and Gallagher taking on Neville and TJP. I love the fact that Aries gets the last chance to re-end after Neville missed the second kind of attempted Phoenix Splash of the evening. To be honest, I could watch Neville and Aries fight all the time.
Yes.
I would love to see this continue to maybe SummerSlam, to where hopefully Aries will get the title. But to me, there's no two better people on 205 Live without. I mean, TJP's fantastic, but other than that, there's no one even close right now, I don't think.
Yeah, they're the only two that really look like stars so far,
Yeah.
as far as how they've been built.
Well, Jimbo, we got to start it over. I have to bring it in.
Yeah.
For God's sake. Like I said, we got Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher taking on Neville and TJP.
What kind of match?
A tag team match.
Coming to get it on. Hey, get out of my way. I'm coming to thunder and lightning and striking. I'm inviting you all to the storm. Feel the pain that I try to contain.
Perfect. It was well worth it.
We'll edit it in post.
Felt good.
No, we're not going to edit in post. That just all happened.
This is live, so
No, this is.
That's all there is to it.
Can we run that again?
no Sid, we're live.
So, what do you guys think? Neville Aries, this Sunday submission match. I mean, conventional wisdom says, well, Aries got the submission locked in tonight. That means Neville's going to find a way to win on Sunday. But so far, every time Neville has defeated Aries, it's always been with some kind of shenanigans going on.
I would like to see shenanigans because it's supposed to be extreme, and since we always see submissions from this group of people, like they all have great submission moves. I don't know. It doesn't seem that special.
I'm honestly probably most intrigued with this match on the show, just because both of these guys, as great high flyers as they are, no one escapes their submissions. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy that Neville brought back the Rings of Saturn, because that was arguably one of my all-time favorite submission holds.
Very cool.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out on which guy will tap, because, you know, if Aries wins, then you'll have the classic "you tapped out" chance for the next several weeks to Neville, and he's just going to be snapping over and over and over, which will be entertaining.
Right.
And if Neville retains, it's the type of thing of, well, is he going to cheat, and is Aries going to be just passed out and not really tap, so then it could still continue on from there. So I think it's still got a lot of variables in it.
They're just so good together.
Yes.
They're two guys who are veterans of a number of years who just understand every single thing about the business. And yeah, there's other good guys on 205 Live. Let's be honest, if you're 24 years old, you don't know half of what Aries or Neville know. And that's why they're so good together. That's why I want to see it continue.
And they did leave, and they didn't play it up in the match much, but during the intros they did mention that Aries' knee was still banged up, it was taped up, so they can always do a sort of, not really screw job finish, but a, blows out his knee because of what's happened.
But Neville's signature submission is not to the knee.
Well, they should have thought of that before they had his knee get worked over for weeks.
He could break one out.
That's true.
Maybe. Get a little debut of a move.
I'd be interested to see if TJP interferes at all, since part of what his storyline is you will get the chance to face me and get the championship if this guy's out of the way.
Sure.
So how do you get that guy out of the way?
Or
so I wonder what could happen there.
TJP could find a way to interfere the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, if you're not going to give it to me, I'll take it.
Right.
There you go. Roman Reigns, he said, there isn't a man on this earth who owns me. I'm going to show him and everyone else tonight. The big dog is me, and this is my yard. Talking about Seth Rollins. Jesus, don't scare us like that, Jimbo.
I'm sorry, who are you referring to?
I thought the big dog was
that was not Jimbo.
I'm back, babies.
Oh!
It's okay. Please continue.
Everybody, taking over for Jimbo was so embarrassed by his Teddy Long faux pas
Hot tag!
that Mark B. Donica takes the blind tag into the booth.
Yeah, we did it.
What's up, buddy?
Good to see everybody.
You too.
Everybody all beautiful.
You-
Just keep talking about Raw.
You would have laughed so hard at the Teddy Long faux pas just now.
I probably would have.
Yeah, it was great.
Don't you worry about it.
Anyways, Roman Reigns, he's the big dog. It's his yard. Boom, moving on. Almost at the main event. Neville backstage. Charlie asked him, you just lost by submission. This Sunday's a submission match. What are you thinking? And he was thinking anger. He just stormed off.
He thought,
Loved it.
I'm the Orc King.
No need for words.
Was it a Tasmanian devil? What the hell was
That's
that?
kind of what it was. It was very and he spun away. He cloud of dust.
He can
was
spin
awesome.
fast enough to do this.
Absolutely.
He could.
I believe it.
During his Phoenix Splash.
He's got the hair for it, too.
I thought it was too.
No doubt about that. And Goldust. Oh, thank you, Goldust.
Yes.
For being you. He said, we all go a little mad sometimes. That's from Psycho 1960. It takes a lot to reach a breaking point, and I've been there, but now I'm back in the director's chair. A star like myself was way too big for a supporting role, but RTruth, he held me back. Our ending won't be happy. It'll be golden. Yeah, I'm not going to do that part.
Oh, that's the one thing I can do.
That was good.
That's my Goldust.
That's my Goldust.
And that wasn't it.
No, it wasn't.
No.
We thought it was it.
No, we thought it was it. It was
We were
followed
wrong.
up by a What's Up. Is that what it was called?
What's
No.
Up Production, I think.
Hey, what's up?
Production?
RTruth production. What's up? Yeah.
Yeah. What's Up Entertainment presents an
Whatever works. The fact that he
meant
mentioned Dolomite, he had my heart.
It was really good.
yeah.
I was surprised by how good his was.
This was the most serious RTruth has been in 8 years.
It's great.
I am very surprised that RTruth had the know-how to hack into the truck, because that was
It was
They did
little
the-
Jimmy.
it was how little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy did it.
You can't see little Jimmy. He gets in there.
Yeah.
So RTruth says, allow me to retort, just throwing out the Pulp Fiction references. He said he was, influenced growing up by people like Shaft and Dolomite. He said, you're gonna get got. He will strike down on thee with great vengeance and furious anger. And man, I love this. And thus far, this is not a match at Extreme Rules, but I'm okay with it. Let this build, man.
Yeah, give it time. I'm loving that now Goldust, at pretty much what we're all kind of assuming is the end of his career, is bringing back what made him big.
Yeah.
And just these, like the movie quotes, backstage, now that he's back in the director's chair. I am so in love with this. And I'll give RTruth a lot of credit. Well, all of a sudden, when it flipped over to him, I'm like, oh, he's just going to be goofy
Nope.
RTruth now.
Right.
But no, he was serious. He was intense. He wants to rip Goldust's head off.
Yeah.
I want to see this match.
Here's the thing. Goldust and RTruth are two of the best. Yes, they're in their mid-40s, and guess what? You can't tell by watching them.
Nope.
And they're incredible at what they do. They were so fun as a tag team, and now them feuding, I'm so on board, and I think fans are going to be really invested in this, and I think Goldust has been perfect so far. I think people are going to get behind RTruth, and as a lifelong Dolomite fan, the fact that Dolomite got mentioned on Monday, I literally just bought, I told you.
I was with you.
I literally just bought a Dolomite t-shirt 2 nights ago because I saw a new one that I wanted. There was actually a friend of mine that lost a bet in college before he really knew me. He thought my last name was Dolomite because everyone called me that. And he lost $10 instead of just asking me what my last name was. he lost the bet instead.
I kind of wish your last name was Dolomite.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
This is kind of bumming me out.
Theme song by heart.
Then I would marry you so I could be Sarah Dolomite.
Sarah Dolomite.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
We can just change her name.
I guess it's true. I'm changing it to Dragon, though. It's a long story. No,
Sarah Dragon?
Yeah, Sarah Dragon.
Or Dragon the Rebel.
Oh, wait, that's even better. Maybe Dragon America. I don't know. I got to think about it. But no, like you said, I always expect the best out of Goldust, to be honest. And RTruth in the ring, technically, I know is amazing.
Yeah, you can go.
But I didn't expect this promo to be so. Like you said, I was hooked, and him bringing the movie thing into kind of a more real place than Goldust did, I think, was cool to me because he was saying movies inspired me. And these are the movies that inspired me. And these movies reference fighting and being strong. You know, like it just tied everything together so well. So I'm excited.
Do we think that this type of feud, like the payoff on this, could be like a career-ending match? Or do you think it'd be something, because both of them are on the last legs of their career?
Yeah, if that man wasn't wearing paint, I don't think he'd still be in a ring.
Yeah, my biggest worry with it is that the build's going to be great, and then it's just a throwaway match on Raw.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't want it to be.
There's no wood for me to knock on.
Trust me, I'm not that powerful.
No, I think this is going to...
Yeah.
If it's not an Extreme Rules, it's going to have to... it's going to have to, like, just build. I would like to...
Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the next one, right?
I guess.
Yeah, July, something or other. Yeah.
The pay-per-view formerly known as Bad Blood?
Yes.
It's bad.
Or Battleground or whatever.
Bloody great.
No,
Nope.
the pay-per-view known as Bad Blood.
Anyways, main event, Seth Rollins taking on Roman Reigns. Wow, this was physical. These two, they're great in the ring. And Roman Reigns brings it every single time. And Roman Reigns gets a massive spear, gets the win. So going into Extreme Rules, we got Roman, bam, with the win. We have
Joe
with the win. And
Roman has 2 weeks of wins, two clean ones.
Yes, he sure does.
Or 2 or 3, actually.
I honestly still have no idea how this is going to go with the 5-way. Because whoever wins awaits Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire.
Right. We had Paul Heyman putting over Finn. So
Yes.
at first I was kind of dismissing Finn.
Right.
We have, Seth, who's been built up as this Kingslayer, but maybe he's a little lower down on the list. We have Roman, who's I think the person most people think is probably...
The matches have built up
Right.
Roman as, who you're kind of led to believe should be the clear favorite, basically.
I'm kind of on the fence where, like the classic thought of, whoever wins on that go-home show, they're not going to be the one to win at the pay-per-view. So you had Bray pinned, you had Rollins pinned,
and then Balor non-decision, but didn't win.
Yep, not there. Reigns been dominant. Joe this week looked dominant. They've been teasing Balor, Bray. Joe Rollins has kind of run its course a little bit, even though it hasn't had a definitive end.
I mean, the most intriguing match for me is without a doubt Joe versus Lesnar.
Now, I think that's the most intriguing one. I honestly, based on tonight, I think Rollins is somehow going to win this 5-way.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking Balor.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't even necessarily make the most sense, but I feel like when Paul Heyman comes out and puts you over,
it doesn't
I feel
make
like
the
it
most
means
sense.
something.
Because Finn Balor is so much smaller.
Right.
Well, I think honestly, with Braun getting hurt, I think they need to kind of stretch. I don't think Balor's beaten Lesnar by any means, but I think that they'll maybe to try to legitimize Finn a little bit to give him a really good showing.
Well, when Strowman comes back, he still has to finish up with Roman, so that's why I think they'll stretch it out with Roman. So maybe he have Roman feud with Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Or Braun should just come back tomorrow. I think he should do that. He should just be healthy.
He beat up Kalisto with one arm.
Whoa! He's here. He's here.
He's not finished with us yet. I don't know, because I think a Samoa Joe and a Brock Lesnar match sounds like a mirror match to me. Like, I feel like they're kind of the same type of guy.
A similar style.
Right,
yeah.
so I don't know that I'd be that excited about that kind of match.
I mean, we look back to CM Punk taking on Lesnar. Size-wise, there was really not much of a comparison. Yet, Punk and Lesnar tore it up.
Made it work. It was believable.
Since Balor has come back, there hasn't really been a lot going on, because character-wise, without the Demon, who is Finn Balor? That's my question is something with Heyman and Lesnar going to bring out the Demon? I think Balor needs to get decimated if he does win this match by Lesnar to really bring that out. Because the Balor Club's fine, but what is the Balor Club? The mainstream audience has no idea what that is.
But who's the best person to bring out the demon in Finn Balor?
I don't think it's Lesnar. I think it's got to
Bray.
build.
Right, Bray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got to build. I think the whole Balor thing should be like, whoo, like leading all the way up.
Yeah.
Or if they want to go the opposite route, the Balor Club becomes a bunch of criminals.
I think there's definitely some long-term something going on there. Because if you remember when Finn first came, it was a bunch of Seth putting the demon over, if you remember.
Mm-hmm. And he was the demon during the match he got hurt.
Right. And we saw that come out pretty quickly. There's been no mention of the demon since he's come back. So to me, with the Paul Heyman thing, it suggests to me that Paul Heyman wants Finn to fight Brock because he thinks he's the easiest one to beat. He loses,
Agreed.
and then we get to the demony stuff soon and that build-up.
I'd buy that.
So bottom line is, we have no idea, guys.
Nope.
We don't know.
You got 5
No one
options.
knows.
You heard it here first.
You heard it first. We have no idea, and that's the way that we like it. We like more questions than answers. You see, that's the best way to go into a big
Elias Samson wins.
We're going to get swerved
He
no matter
drifts
what.
on into the match. And then
Yes. They'd have all my money if that somehow happened.
That is something else.
Brock's been taken out by a guitar.
He starts smashing guitars on everybody. That's never been done before.
never.
It should be.
And honestly, it's been a while now that I think about it. Like, it could be fresh again. That hasn't been.
Would they allow it, though, as a headshot? I know it's not a chair.
There's such gimmick to guitars, though, at this point, that I don't know if they'd...
Maybe they could switch to drum. If he switches to another instrument, then we know it's coming.
Hits him with that snare.
That's talented. Oh no, the bongos!
Not the bongos, they're
All
too
right.
stiff.
I'm gonna go down the row here. Everyone just say who they think's gonna win the Fatal 5-Way. Doesn't matter. We're all gonna be wrong anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna start off with Ryan Niemiller. Go.
Finn Balor.
Christian Rosenberg. Go.
Seth Rollins.
Sarah the Rebel. Go.
Finn Balor.
Mark B. Donegan. Go.
Bray Wyatt.
I'm gonna say Bray Wyatt too.
This all means Roman Reigns is winning, you realize.
Yeah. I don't know why we're even pretending.
I almost feel like they realized that they kind of did Bray an injustice on SmackDown, and him and Brock Lesnar,
That'd be so fun.
they could go into a hell of a program together. Because maybe Bray can scare Brock, and if anyone can sell fear, it's Paul Heyman because he could sell anything.
Oh, yeah,
Let's try the House of Horrors match again with Brock.
Brock would literally tear the house down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bray could scare the hell out of Heyman, and we saw Bray build up a whole feud with the Undertaker, with Undertaker not even there.
Not even there.
So if anyone can do it, it's Bray.
What a missed opportunity, man. If Undertaker could have just passed those magical powers on to Bray, we could have just... Everything could have been different.
Well, bottom line is we have no idea what's going to happen. But nonetheless, Extreme Rules is happening this Sunday, guys. Thank you for watching. Let's all put ourselves over. Mark B. Donica, go.
You can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. You can find Jimbo Slice at Jimbo in the Booth.
Boom. Ryan Niemiller.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, PSN, at my house, at Cripple Threat 8.
There it is. Follow him.
Do it.
Christian Rosenberg.
Follow me home. I'm very lonely.
Give him a
If
ride.
you want to do that. Follow me on Twitter at Rue Rosenberg, Instagram, The Rue Rosenberg, t-shirts like this new one here that says I was born in 2005, apparently. ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. And of course, tune in to SmackDown AfterBuzz Tuesday night. And Sarah the Rebel, who we're passing it to next, she'll be on tomorrow as well.
I shall indeed. I'm Sarah the Rebel everywhere. Sarah's an H. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. If you're into short stories, I also have a Patreon wherein I write stories, as you might imagine. It's pretty great. I think so.
And you can also see her at the Santino Brothers training camp.
Don't come visit yet. I'm not ready. Oh, also, I have 2 podcasts as well. Women Wrestling Friends, where I talk about wrestling with my lady friends. And then Ready to Ramble, which is on twitch.tv/hyperrpg.
That's right. Wrestling and Padres has been on fire recently. Last week we had special guests, the guys from Funhouse, who were also involved with Rooster Teeth. They had a documentary where they had to learn how to wrestle in 5 days. Super fun. This week we're actually going to have Pete Gass, who's got a brand new book coming out. That's going to be a lot of fun. So at Fox Compadres. I'm going to be gone next week. I will be out of the state, so I'm going to miss you guys. But go to jlocomedy.com. Chicago, I'm headlining the Comedy Bar July 14th, 15th, and 16th. I've never been there. Cannot wait to go. I know a lot of you are near Chicago, so please reserve your spots, your calendars, whatever you want to call it. I'd love to see you. And, of course, watch the vlogs from Pakistan. It was an incredible experience, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We love you. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.